Yes, hello and welcome to AFL Evolution Day 2. It went so well last night. We thought we'd go again. Mick Wall here, joined today by Nathan Brown. I'll tell you what, he's one of the best callers in the business. He's doing it for us. So very happy about that. Hammy Goodman, how are you, gentlemen?
Oh, really good, Mick, really good. Normally I'd be in Sydney to call this game Sydney Friday night on Triple M, and it's not so much the game I look forward to, Mick. It's we obviously do the pre-game, we do the game, but after we found this restaurant called Golden Century City, which is in the middle of Sydney. It's a Chinese joint, and it is the best Chinese I've ever had. It's one of those places where they've got all the big fish tanks, they've got lobsters hanging around, fish. They're on their last legs, obviously, because they're about to be eaten. But it's almost I enjoy that more, and I'm a bit flat that I'm not there tonight. But certainly we can't move anywhere. We can't go to Sydney, so this is the next best thing.
And just while we're on the topic of food there, Nathan, can I just grab a large Big Mac meal with a Coke? And Wally, did you want anything, mate, as well?
Just cheeseburger, thanks, mate.
Okay, you did roll with that this morning, Hammy. So
good.
Hopefully you can do it again tomorrow.
Good. I thought I'd do it again. tonight. Looking forward to this one. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Mate, what's your go-to when you go to Chinese? Nathan's just told us about, what was it called, Nathan? Golden Century City? It sounds
something like that. It was probably a combination of those. It could have been Century City for all I know, but it was bloody good.
Yeah, my go-to Chinese, Mick, thinking local, thinking back to my childhood, showing my age a little bit here, but Silk Road down at the Isaac Shops there in Canberra, which has been closed for some time now, but they did a very good fried rice with some little shrimps in there and stuff like that. So I'm a big fan. Big fan of it as well.
Prefer the Silk Road you used to get online, didn't you, Mick?
Oh, Nathan Brown in early with that. Yeah, that one in the pocket. All right. And on that note, let's have a look at the teams. We've got the Swans and the Bombers in a huge clash tonight. I'll tell you what, Browny, you guys inserted yourself into the game last night. Literally, talk us through the lineups, matchups you're looking forward to most, where you think the advantages are here.
Well, I think the only player you ever look at when you watch Sydney is the big fella, number 23, Lance Franklin. So a lot to be said about him. I mean, the amazing pictures of Lance Franklin. And it's a great matchup, Cale Hooker, tonight, because we all remember when he played for the Hawks, that dash along the wing, the three bounce, the look back at poor old Cale Hooker, who was really charging. And every time I see Cale Hooker, I think of Lance Franklin. So let's hope Buddy has a big night tonight.
Hammy, you're obviously a Swans fan, as everyone can see. What are you most excited about?
Yeah, congratulations. You found Wally. Looking forward to this one as well, Mick. Look, I think there's been some cost cutting right around the place. I mean, you look at the commentary team tonight compared to last night. We had some of the best in the biz, Richo, Hummer. We're hurting. We've obviously wheeled out the grubs tonight. It's really scraping the bottom of the barrel. I understand we may be potentially late call-ups for the Sydney Swans, yourself and myself as well, Wally. Just to
that is my understanding. I will be replacing Gary Rowan. Mainly because, and I know Richard used this joke last night, but he now plays for Geelong.
Yeah. And you got a similar turn of foot to Gary Rowan as well. I've actually seen you play a few games for the Prahran 2 Blues, and very similar pace off the mark. And I'm going to come in, I think, for Sammy Reid. Yeah. So very similar, bit of a swing
man. That's an upgrade.
Versatile. I was a swing man when I played for the Eastlake Footy Club as well. I retired in the under-13s, having won the most consistent player award, which is basically a sign that says just give it up, mate. I knew my time was up when they misspelled my name on the trophy. But good to be back and in the Swans colours tonight.
Got big shoes to fill, Mick, because Gary Rowan 3 years ago, as you would know, kicked the most first goals of any player in the competition. Ben Brown did it the year after. That was Stephen Milne's trophy. It probably should be called the Stephen Milne Trophy, the first goal scorer. But Gary Rowan, a few years back, was the most prolific first goal scorer. So I'm expecting big things from you early. He's a first quarter specialist. You don't get much out of Gary Rowan after about 15 mark of the first quarter, but I'm expecting you to really just put them to the sword tonight.
Well, that'll be very similar to I've seen Wally play for the Two Blues as well. I didn't see much out of him after the 15 minutes in the first quarter as well, Nathan. So I think it's a like-for-like swap. I like where the horse's head is at in that particular selection. What did you price Wally up as to kick the first goal, Brownie?
He's about $18 to kick the first goal. Going to be hard to get it past Lance Franklin or probably Isaac Heaney. They'd be the favourites, but wouldn't mind betting Wally just slipping in there for one. Gary Rowan replacing him. So good luck, Michael. And when he goes to the pub, here's one thing that Michael's probably not your stay-at-home AFL footballer who can run all 4 quarters. But certainly if he goes to the pub, he's one of those blokes that gets really drunk really early. 15 minutes into being at the pub, and you go, how is he going to last? But somehow at 3 o'clock in the morning, he is still the same one there holding up the building with that same stupid grin on his face that he had at the 50th mark of the pub.
Yeah, he is an endurance drinker, Nathan. I think I've seen Wally in fine form in all corners of the globe. And he gets to that certain point, he flies out of the blocks, but he is able to hold that pace. So we'll see if it transfers onto the football field, but that remains to be seen. Astonishing scenes here at the SCG. It looks like the COVID crowd ban has been lifted for this Friday night fixture. It's a full house there. And once again, we mentioned it last night, but pretty uninspiring stuff from the banner riders from the Essendon Football Club to kick us off.
Yeah, it's not too exciting, is it, when you just got the old team logo on there? But I'll tell you what, as they head onto the ground, this is where the excitement starts. This is what I think we all miss as AFL fans. This is why this has been so good to do. Browny, you've played on it, you've called it. How good is this moment when you're about to run through the banner, out in this case on the SCG, take on a team Friday night footy?
Every time I played this part of the game where you used to run out, it'd give you hairs on the back of your neck to run through the banner. And I mean, the roar when you first go out to an AFL game is extraordinary. First game was in 97. We played Fremantle at Optus Oval. There was only 7,000 people there, but it felt like the loudest crowd I'd ever played. Well, it was at that stage the loudest crowd I've ever played in front of. And any time you get to play AFL football at the SCG, the MCG, it is a privilege.
Heppel winning the toss there and into the left of screen. Browny, take us off.
Oh, he's Big Belcho, the best-looking man in the AFL. Very, very good he is. Trying to pick up the ball there was Myers. We're going to get him on his left foot. Isaac Heaney, that's very, very clean. He also almost threw an elbow out there. And
there's me.
Is that you, Hammy?
Ryan Goodman crosses the ball in, but
into the middle, looking for Josh Kennedy, who takes a pretty easy mark. They move the ball forward to Naismith. Naismith back inside forward 50. Can they take a mark? No, the Bombers will turn it back over.
That was Wall who was outmarked there. Needs
outmarked.
to do better and needs to lift when that ball goes inside 50, Nathan.
You've got to get the boy off.
I believe they've got my actual dimensions, so it's a pretty unfair matchup.
Ball's gone out of bounds on the, I think it's the city side of the SCG. Ball comes down. They'll move the ball inside forward 50 here. The Swans left foot ball. It's not a good one. And the mark taken by Adam Sard, who's a very, very quick player. But on this occasion, he's turned it over to Tom Papley, fresh off a 5-goal performance at the State of Origin.
Give it to Wally. Give it to Wally.
Straight over Wall's head.
Give it to Wally. When you kick goals like that, Tom Papley opens the scores, 1 straight 6-0.
Yeah, look, it was an interesting entry into 50 there from Heaney. Went across looking for me. I don't blame him. I actually don't mind the thinking there. Turned it over, but then astonishingly a double turnover from the Swans. And what a mongrel of a punt that was too to get through. But at the end of the day, it's 6 points and that's all that counts.
All right, a few replays on this. I saw that last night in the action. They're really, really going back and forth and a bit of swagger coming in there.
Yeah, back in the middle, 1 straight 6, the Swans. Ball comes down to Zaharakis. Jack, left foot ball, down towards half forward. Mark taken by Luke Parker. What will Luke Parker's become? Inside forward 50, here's the big Bud Choke, can't get it away. Ball picked up by the Bombers, down towards half forward. Mark taken by Big Belcho. They'll go inside forward 50, moving the ball well here, Wally. But straight back
very well,
side.
goes inside forward 50. Oh, it's cut off straight away. It's going to come back out, no good there. Is that Zach Jones out there on the...
Heaney.
He'll cross the ball back into the centre. Dane Rampy, he'll bring it up forward here. Heading towards, is that Ryan Goodman again?
It is.
He has been on fire today.
And he's look for Franklin. You expect the big fella to go from here. Just inside the square. He's a big left foot kick.
Ooh. That
That one is not going to be a goal. In towards the pocket. And I think it might have gone out of bounds for a throw in.
That was Franklin in the direction of Wall
it.
there. You can see him doing star jumps on the mark on a significantly taller opponent than him. I'm not sure about the thought from Buddy there. I would have liked to have seen him take a shot.
Andrew McGrath, one of the up-and-coming stars, looks towards Dylan Shield, but he's outmarked here by Jake Lloyd, who gets a stack of the football. Hasn't had a contested possession in his career yet, but back inside forward 50, and Lance Franklin 30 out directly in front.
All of a sudden, we're halfway through the first quarter. Scrapes in, I think. And I'll tell you what, he's been active in the last 5 minutes or so, Lance Franklin. It's starting to turn all of a sudden into the Buddy show.
Yeah,
you can see the players on this game that they've taken particular interest in drawing, and then there's some that they've probably got to the end of the list and thought, we'll just make them all look the same.
Buddy being one of those. They've even got the stickers right on, buddy, there.
Yeah, they
quite.
have. They've taken a lot of time in, buddy. So ball up back in the middle. Fast start by the Swans. Jake the Snake Melksham. He's at the Bombers. He's at the Demons now. Who's 35 for Sydney? Can we?
Is that Sinclair? Cal Sinclair?
I think he...
Or Naismith?
I've got no idea. Could be Naismith. Yeah, let's have a look. Naismith being tackled without the footy. Didn't get a free kick. Umpire. Drew a little hair on top of his head.
Let one go there.
Ball comes out towards centre wing. Jake Lloyd again, been quite good early. Jake Lloyd going into the middle. The mark taken by Zach Merritt. Not in the leadership group anymore. Looking for and finding Big Belcho. Goes out with a Miss Universe or Miss Australia or something like that, Hammy.
Belcho, does he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
I'm happy to give him the 3 votes right now, Nathan. That's very impressive.
It
Tell you what,
certainly
AFL
is.
ruckmen do very good work off the park. Historic.
Oh, do tell, Michael.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, Sean Hampson, Megan Gale, just off the top of my head. But I think you find the height, good looks.
Here's Tip and Woody inside forward 50, fisted away. Nick Smith couldn't pick it up. Going in was Naismith, Zaharakis, Zach Merritt. What a pickup that was. One-handed, Kudafiti style. And a quick handball comes out. Ball just bobbling around a little bit. Nobody can really get a clear possession here.
The ground might be a bit dewy up there in Sydney tonight, Nathan. It looks like it's a pretty slippery ball.
It normally happens on a nice day when there's not a cloud in the sky. The dew just settles in quite early, Michael. So you're a former Sydney person yourself, Hammy. Is that correct?
Well, look, I think it does, and I think you'll find in this 2018 version of the game, Stewie Dew's actually the assistant coach, so there is certainly an element of dew up there at the ground.
Oh.
Inside forward 50.
Wally runs onto it.
Sinclair. Wall hasn't really touched the footy yet.
That's a good
Free
hit
kick.
by Wally there, though.
And we're just showing the interchange bench now, are we? Dane Rampy comes off. Nick Newman comes on. He's now at the Blues. Cal Sinclair up against Danaher in the defensive 50. Danaher. Franklin wants to get onto that left. Tackle. Didn't want to handball that. Sards there. Sinclair. Man with the smallest head in the AFL. Have you seen the size of Cal Sinclair's head for the size of his body? It is extraordinarily small.
Do you reckon they've paid attention to detail the size of his head in this game as well, or have they misrepresented him there, Nathan?
I need to have a look at that. I haven't quite had a look at his head in this game so far. Who's number 59? Is that you, Hammy?
That is me. I'm wearing the 59 made famous by Brian Strawn. I took it with me to the Melbourne Cricket Club a few years ago, and I've stuck with it tonight.
Now, look, I think the head of Callum Sinclair is far too big in this game. They haven't drawn that to scale at all. So the ball comes out, Papley to the top of the square, and a good mark taken down there by Will Hayward.
Starting to turn into a bit of a cakewalk here for the Swans. I'm not sure whether there's a breeze at the ground, but certainly pretty quick off the mark, and that's 3 goals straight.
Big Willie Hayward, very talented player.
Inside the last minute
at
now,
the ground.
Browny, and obviously all Sydney. What have we seen? 2 inside 50s for Essendon, and that's all she wrote, and the ball came straight back out. Ryan, just having a look at you there on a couple of those replays earlier, you seem to be spending a lot of time out and around the packs, not getting your head over the ball.
Yeah, that is a fairly accurate representation of how I did play the game. So that well done to all involved at the game development component of AFL Evolution. They've nailed it.
Oh, how has he coughed that up?
They've made a meal of that one out of the middle, but down towards Justin Blumfield, back inside forward 50. Mark taken by Zaharakis, plays on the left foot. And that is quarter time. Dyson Hepper looks very, very upset. Here's Josh Kennedy, just give him a bit of a rev up. Isaac Heaney in the background there. Not sure who the guy there to the left is. Could have been a number of players, but certainly 3 straight 18. The Bombers yet to score.
Looks like Josh Kennedy was getting the boys there just about to sing the club song. He's very confident indeed at the quarter time break. Pretty impressed in that first term there by some of the defensive pressure of the Swans. When it did get into the 50-metre arc, it didn't get too far past it. I was particularly impressed with the tackling pressure of Jared McVeigh, which is even more remarkable as he's now retired. But I saw him go for 2 or 3 tackles there, I think, Nathan, in the first term.
You've had 3 disposals, Hammy. 3 kicks, 3 disposals. Going at, I think it was 66% effective rate. That's not bad for the first game.
Can we compare that to Wally?
Wally he's a burst player.
Yeah, he's a burst player. And the forward pressure, it's been Cyril Rioli-like, Hammy.
Well, I saw you running around there, Wally, and you look like you're trying to open up the square there on a couple of occasions for, just to let a few long-range bombs go. But, you probably do need to lift, would be my feedback going into the second. I'll tell you
who's got to lift, though, Essendon. I would suggest, apart from Zach and Tom Bell Chambers, they have been absolutely diabolical in that first quarter.
Yeah, not a lot of disposals on the board there for the Bombers. There's a lot of 1s and 2s and 0s. Big Belcho's been okay, though.
Yeah, he's been all right in the ruck. He's been fair, and Zach Merritt's been good. But apart from that, they really need to lift as we get into the second quarter.
Uncontested possessions, plus 15 for Sydney. That's where they've won it. The Bombers just refusing to put any sort of pressure on, including Wall. I'm not sure where he's been. So 3 straight 18. Here we go. Second quarter. Naismith up against Big Belcho. Naismith can't win that one. Belcho has won most taps so far, but the Bombers just haven't been able to make the most of it. Here's Isaac Heaney. Gave it up. Ball comes out towards Stringer. Inside forward 50 at the feet of Joe Danaher. Could have got a push in the back, and Heath Grundy did.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's just been the story of Essendon's night so far. Ball goes in, ball comes out, rinse and repeat. But Sydney had a few little errors we saw late in that first quarter, and then again, they've turned the ball over a couple of times here. A little bit sloppy, Hammy.
Yeah, certainly has been. And we can see once again, just in the first opening exchanges of this quarter, the ball hasn't really left the Randwick end of the ground. I just wonder whether the Paddington Doctor may be a factor here this evening, blowing through with a bit of a 3-goal breeze. We'll have to wait and see, but Essendon looking promising here.
Tell you what, Belcho's putting some pretty good numbers together in this game. Stringer's ball was turned over. McVeigh, half-back, wants to play on quickly. He does now, but he gives it straight back to Belcho again. He is on fire at the moment, Belcho, but just can't kick. Continually kicks it back to Jared McVeigh. Into Kennedy at half-back, almost kicked into the man on the mark. Got it to Kieran Jack. Playing on here, Sydney. They're 18 points to the good. Naismith hasn't been the best for the Sydney Swans, but that kick's pretty ordinary. And
that is a terrible kick. Buddy's there.
Get it past Hooker.
Yeah, look, you got to take your hat off to some of the legends of the Sydney Swans Football Club. Obviously, everyone's feeling the financial pinch at the moment, but for 2 or 3 of them, Kieran Jack, I'm talking about, Jared McVeigh, there's probably a couple of other retired legends out there. Good to see them doing their bit for the club when they need it most.
Oh, here's Tippin Woody just taking an easy mark in the pocket, and he should be able to kick the Bombers first. Comes in, and that's pretty ordinary.
Commentator's curse, Browny.
It is very unhappy with himself. Look at these two. They're twins in the front row.
Every good footy club's got a couple of twins. Got a couple. Browny, I know that people harp on Rich with Rich.
Oh, no. You can't turn it over there.
Have you ever missed one from this range, Nathan?
Never. And a goal should be kicked here, and it is the first one to Orazio Fantasia. First one of the Bombers. Pretty bad mistake from full back, and they get their first, the Bombers, 3 straight 18 to 1 straight 6.
Nathan, it looks to be a new look Bombers. They've just attacked the game with a new lease of life in this second term. What do you put that down to? Are we looking at, is that win maybe a factor, or were they raised up at half time?
Just Belcho. I think Belcho's just been unbelievable. Any man who goes out with the Miss Universe, he's going pretty well.
That's a lead from Buddy. He's hit Papley with a flat bullet-like pass from about 70 metres away. Sets him up beautifully straight in front. But this is too fat side.
There for the hands. I would have kicked that. I don't know if you saw that. I was running by on his right side for the hands.
No, we didn't see it.
And I would have kicked it.
So Buddy intercepts. Surely he goes back in. No passing of the ball. Your left foot out. You're going okay. He does pass it. Who's the lead? Comes out. Martin Gleeson takes an easy mark. Didn't play in the first round for the Bombers last week, so
and he took it on me.
That is an absolute meltdown there from Buddy Franklin. Tries to hit Wall and be unselfish on the lead. I would have definitely taken the shot.
Zaharakis, Collier has run with a man bun for a long time, Collier, and it's featured in this game. Well done by the creators, and that's a long kick for the point.
Was that a barrel? It looked like a barrel.
It was. Yeah, I think it was David Zaharakis. They've spent a bit of time on David Zaharakis.
Got the man bun in there. Good pick up there, Nathan.
The man bun's sort of going out of fashion these days, isn't it? Jakey Stringer's got his first one, I reckon. He's just snuck that in. Jake Stringer, and here come the Bombers. 19 plays 14.
Well, you'd be pretty impressed with what you've seen so far in this second term if you're a Bombers fan. They look pretty much done and dusted. A little bit of the early crow treatment there from Josh Kennedy. Got the boys in. Looked like they were about to regale the first verse of the club song there. But the Bombers, they've come out in this term, and despite, the kicking hasn't looked as clean as it could, but they're back in the game.
Naismith up against the big fella in Zaharakis, takes it out of the middle. Here go the Bombers again. That's surely a free kick held without the footy. No, not paid. Zaharakis goes back in. Tippin Woody was there. Number 17. I think that's Stewart. Hasn't really been near the footy at the moment. The Swans will get this back through Heaney.
He's been everywhere as well for the Swans. And look at that, hits another little target there. He'd have to be leading the possessions and go in the direction of myself.
Oh, right. Good.
Not very clean hands again. A pretty accurate representation of my ability when I was playing.
Tell you what, Stringer's starting to get a fair bit of the footy. Inside forward 50. McVeigh needs to make a beeline for this one. Couldn't quite get it. Fantasia was there, and the Swans will get it back. Here's Josh Kennedy. Safe hands by Josh Kennedy. The switch is on.
They need to get this to inside 50 here, Browny. They've been struggling as they get to that centre line. Now they need a link up right into 50. Bud.
Franklin. He's just leading a mirrored dance around hooker. That's a big kick by Franklin, but I reckon it might have been out of the full.
Oh.
Look, he's gone the forehand torpedo there with the rotation of the ball. I'll tell you what, though, given what's on offer at the forward pocket there, unfortunately, Wally, I hate to say it, but I don't mind the intent there from Buddy to start launching him from 70 metres out.
I mean, and that's what you want to. Put it at the top of the pack and you go up, crunch the pack, I'll go to the feet, you'll be fine.
Josh Kennedy's taking some nice marks. Dyson Heppel seems to have grown his hair back since round one. I think he looks a lot better with the short hair, and here he is. It's probably a wig this week.
Did he go to play on there?
Yeah, I thought he played on as well.
Heppel, mark taken by Heaney. Jeez, they turn it over a lot in this game, don't they?
Heaney's getting a lot of it, and it's just straight back.
Stewart looks for Arzio Fantasia. Already kicked one, Fantasia. I'll back him from here. He's a dead-eye dick. Look at that. Oh, great pass by Joe Danaher, who should go back and kick this one quite comfortably. Unselfish
play there. Could have easily had the shot. Sets up Danaher. Big Joe should have actually been to the Swans for this game, but didn't find his way there, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of a bitter pill to swallow there for the Sydney Swans fans.
Yeah, they've definitely had the better of this second quarter. The Bombers, Joe Danaher looked the other way when he kicked that. I haven't seen that too many times. Michael Jordan once took a free throw when he closed his eyes. That's the best I've seen since that.
He did, I believe it was, I think it was young Larry Johnson or something from Charlotte Hornets, and said, "Welcome to the NBA." So absolute alpha stuff. Well, there you go, 3-2 to 3-1. Essendon have not only got back in the game, they go into the halftime break with a 1-point lead, and the big difference there, the contested possessions, they've now got more of that. They've had intensity. They've been really, really strong. 9-3 hit outs, Brown. So Bell Chambers is dominating.
He certainly is. He's been the difference, Bell Chambers. Josh Kennedy's been very good with 10 disposals as well. As we head down to Hammy Goodman, did not touch the footy. So when your side's not going well, you really need your players to stand up. And unfortunately, in that second term, Goodman failed to touch the agate.
Well, what I will say, Nathan, is a very, very, very hard caper to both play in a game and commentate it at the same time. So a little bit of leeway would be appreciated there. I'm doing my absolute best. But, I was outmarked on one or two occasions there. When you pick up the paper tomorrow, though, the story in this game, I feel, will be the clanger at the selection table. Wall, unfortunately, at the forward pocket, hasn't really bared any fruit at all. Statless at halftime. Again, fairly consistent with how I've seen him play out in real life. But I reckon Sam Reid would have been a welcome addition over Wall at this stage of the game. I'm happy to give him a chance, but from what I've seen so far, I think that will be the storyline.
This game is setting up for me to come in and just kick one out of you-know-where in that last quarter to win it. Bell Chambers, there you go. He had all the hit-outs. He's actually had 8 disposals as well. So he is doing this on his own, Brownie. He is dominating. 8
disposals. Zaharakis has been okay as well. Fantasia's had a couple of shots at goal. Devon Smith hasn't touched the scorers yet, but certainly going to be a very, very interesting second half.
Yeah, just again to have a look there. Essendon, that's interesting because they could not get near it in the first half. They now have 3 more inside 50s. I reckon that's 2 in the
Just quickly, Mick, before we get into the second half, what's your best at Bendigo tomorrow, by the way?
Best at Bendigo, Nathan. You put me on the spot there. I'll have to be having a look. Can I come back to you later?
Well, I thought you did that great show, 3 Wide No Cover, where you discussed the best bets.
I'm glad you asked me that.
Anything from that would be good.
Well, we covered Rose Hill. We covered 5 races at Rose Hill.
Okay.
The entire panel agree on Very Elegant. Now, it's a price of $2.05. But Julian Valanche, he likes Golden Halo at Bendigo.
It's about $8.50, I believe, yeah?
Yeah, and it's a nice each-way price. So
good each-way price.
Bendigo, Julesy, Golden Halo the each-way. very elegant, and we'll watch the show. There's plenty of tips the whole way through it, Nathan.
Yeah, nice.
Much love at Bow Desert today, boys, or I didn't have much luck?
Not as good as Narromine went yesterday, Ryan.
I went to the Werribee Gorge today with the kids, so I don't know whether you've ever been there, but it was extraordinary. Just out the outskirts of Bacchus Marsh.
Did you bring them all back?
Yeah.
I did. We saw a snake. Saw a red-bellied back snake.
Bloody hell, Nathan.
Obviously, staying at home is working well for us.
All right, second half. Over to you, Nathan.
Here we go. Big Belcher up against Naismith again. Zach Merritt's in there. Stewart got the footy. The Bombers. Geez, they had a good second quarter, but the end of the left of the dial hasn't been the scoring end, and I think they've picked out a free kick there. Sinclair. Not a great ball.
No,
straight back to the Bombers.
Again.
And BJ Goddard. Blumfield. Down towards half forward. Stewart. Tackled by Rampy.
He's coming
Post
off.
shaker. And I like those little exchanges on the bench. I don't know why we see them.
I'm assuming it's to cover some sort of loading patch in the game, Browny, but I could be wrong.
It's just that little circle
Good
that's
pressure there
going
by
round and
Kennedy
round
again.
and round.
Yeah.
Darcy Parish couldn't pick it up cleanly, then got the handball out. Here they go, the Bombers. Big opportunity. Parish to Blumfield. I'm sure it's not Justin Blumfield. He hasn't been playing for a long time. And the short ball finds the post shaker and Rampy.
Reg Grundy, another one out of retirement to just to serve his club. And I like that about the Swans. They've got a great culture, and good to see so many former stars lining up for Friday night footy on the Sportsbet streaming channels.
It's Travis Collier, not Blumfield. My mistake. To Tippenwoody, gets the front position and marks. His first shot at goal was pretty ordinary, Tippenwoody. He was 15 metres out and made an absolute howler of it. That one is much better, and the Bombers have 4 in a row.
Umpire did not move there, Brownie. We see the man bun there to Tipper. They are just in control of this. Sydney have not looked like it at all this quarter time. And genuine swagger there by Tipper as he puts that through, and they're up and about.
The boys have clocked off at quarter time, and they might be going with the barometer of Gary Rowan or his replacement, Michael Wall, who, as we say, come out of the blocks very strongly, but can at times drop off. Buddy.
Oh, how do you drop that?
Well, I reckon he should have. That's it's as good as I can say there. I thought he ducked the head, big bud.
Bit of
Down towards half forward.
Collier. Footsteps there, yep.
Not sure why he's switching that. And Dane Rampy. Been very good in the back end, Rampy. Lloyd always finds some space and marks on this occasion.
Bud, that's better.
Bud, just have a shot, Bud.
Go back and kick a goal.
Just have a shot. He doesn't. He goes
in the direction
of
Wall.
Oh, Mickey Wall.
He's run over the mark there. That's a 50 metres.
That's 50.
And
unselfishly, discipline, and turns it over.
Unselfishly turns it over.
In fairness, I kicked it to Ryan Goodman. He ran the other way.
No, that's me there.
Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, whoever that was deplorable. But where's my 50 metres?
Dyson Heppel, short ball looking for Parish. Good run from the back end by Parish. Good young player towards half forward. Mark taken by Jake Stringer, the package. Inside forward 50. Another one to Fantasia. They've moved this ball beautifully, the Bombers. This has been champagne football to Tippenwoody.
Yeah, they're going to go to Tipper again, aren't they? Oh, no,
He's had a shot. He's had a shot of Orazio.
Just
one behind. It's a handy 9-point lead now.
It is.
Nothing
And
like
Orazio
Fantasia.
imposing himself on the game, Brown. Like, he's starting to be there. Him, Tipper, these are your match winners, and they're starting to...
They told the ball.
In the back.
In the back. Cannot believe that. Grundy, outside defensive 50, and the Swans' Rampy's just marking everything at the moment. Parish. Back inside forward 50, the mark taken by the man Bunning Collier. Hammer, it's a big hand, it's a Polly Farmer handball in towards Fantasia. He's been the man most likely, and he'll go back, and this is for 5 in a row for the Bombers, and he misses.
Geez, poor kicking keeping the Swans in this one, fair to say. Brownie, they look like they've clocked off the Swans. What's got to change here to get them back in the game?
I think you've got to get it all off.
Hang on, I've just taken a good leading mark, and put the ball into 50, and it wasn't my fault they didn't mark it.
Tippenwoody another opportunity and kicks the goal. It's a big 15-point lead now. Tippenwoody kicked the last 2 goals, and he is on fire, the young man.
Yeah. Now, I was mentioning earlier in the broadcast that back in my day, I was a bit of a swing man on the football field, and I wonder whether it might be worth throwing me down in the back line there just to try and shut a few of these blokes down, because they are running amok in the forward, the Bombers at the moment.
And I'm happy to stay up forward where this not
a line into Horselong Mire and suggest that. David Myers is down there. Collier. Myers again. Gets it out, Fantasia. Tipping what he's going to kick his third. What about this? What about this for a player? He has kicked the last 3 goals in a row, and he has taken a flamethrower to this place.
Now, this is almost... Oh, go ahead, Wally.
Yeah, Collier again, Fantasia again, Tippenwoody again. There you 3. Bell Chambers now finally getting some support, Hammy.
Something's got to give.
Nick Smith, all Australian defenders, just all at sea at the moment.
Yeah,
you got to get the boy off.
Yeah, he's cooked down there, unfortunately, at the moment. And this is almost getting to the point as a Swans fan. If I was watching this game on TV myself, I'd almost be turning it off here at this point. But what you got to remember, a couple of years ago, one of the great finishes where I think it was Gary Rowan kicked a goal in the last second of the game. So
in the goal square,
hopefully the boys can find something here.
If they kick the next goal here, the Bombers, it's almost like the Sydney Flans will have to leave and get to their closest leagues club as they do.
No, they're all shut. Strange. They're all shut by 8:30 p.m.
That's another goal to Stringer. That is 6 in a row now to the Bombers. 7 in a row to the Bombers. And Jake Stringer, he looks like one of those players that they haven't really known how to draw. So there's a fair few players that look pretty much identical. Him and Fantasia, they could be twins out there at the moment.
I've got to say, as a Swans fan, this is getting very hard to watch. And I'm not just talking about the glitchy graphics and the questionable Wi-Fi connection. This is turning into an absolute display here from the Bombers, and I'm not enjoying it.
This is getting like Walley at 3 a.m.
I can't.
Just ugly.
Well, what's that? One of these guys about to pull into a servo for a couple of pies, are they, Browny?
I haven't seen anyone ask for a phone charger yet, Nathan, but we'll see what happens.
Essendon by 27. Opportunity here for the Sydney
finally
Swans.
here, opportunity.
Inside forward 50 and Papley. The first goal of the game tonight.
I think that was Parker in the direction of Goodman. I like the thinking
there. That's a barrel. That's nice. That's home.
He's kicked that. They needed that.
Oh, it's hit the post, Mick.
Oh. That's disappointing.
It's a cruel game.
Absolute shocker. Now, as they kick out here, he's going to play on. They've got the old tip and run rule there. Look at that. Just too much space, and they're just hitting the ball really, really well from now, isn't it?
Gets it out to Mark Bagley, who in his first game I called as Baguli. To the laughter of the Triple M box. Quickly pointed out it's Bagley, you dickhead.
You've interviewed Orazio Fantasia. Is it Fantasia or Fantasia?
It's Fantasia, but he's happy to be called Fantasia.
There you go.
Beautiful young kid. Really good young kid. Devon Smith, I reckon that's his first touch. Collie has been everywhere, but coming in from the side is Zach Jones, the former Demon. Centre wing.
Now Saints, I believe.
That is correct. That is correct.
Right out of time. That was dangerous.
But Buddy Franklin has gone missing in that quarter. He was really missing, and he has just gone missing. He turned the ball over about 3 times. He was missing in contest. Look at this. 5 more inside 50, so it's still not overly alarming. Effective disposal from Essendon has been elite. The contested possessions, 14 more contested possessions on this, and now they're evenly possession. Hit out, Bell Chambers still doing his job. I'll tell you what, Hammy, I don't know where you look to here or who you look to, but if Buddy doesn't lift, you guys are no chance.
Well, absolutely. Well, we're no chance, Wally, because you're obviously donning the number 19 jersey for us as well. But you look at that possession there. That possession percentage has been absolutely sliced and diced, 10% down on where it was at quarter time for the Swans. The Bombers, basically, they found a new gear, and the Swans have basically clocked off since quarter time.
The Clangers tell a story there. +8 in the Clangers for Sydney Swans. They just continue to give it back to the Bombers in dangerous positions.
Now, if we just have a look here at some individual players there, it's sort of Dean Rampy doing a good job. But the problem is Dean Rampy's getting the ball a lot. But
Dane's getting it as well.
Did I say Dean? Dane Rampy turning it over a fair bit. If we have a look at the Essendon players now, you'll see a few players, as I said, that have really inserted themselves into this game. Bell Chambers was fantastic for the first half. He was a lot quieter, but that's okay because he had the help. As we spoke about there, Collier was getting more of the ball. We spoke about Tipper getting a lot more of the ball. Orazio, Fantasia getting more of the ball. Browny, look, can Sydney get back in it or Essendon just on top of them now?
No, it's the Bombers' game to lose here. I think the Bombers win by a long margin. Bell Chambers is absolutely dominating in the middle, so I can't see the Sydney Swans making... They haven't kicked the goal since quarter time. They kicked 3 straight 18 in that first quarter. They've only added 2 behinds to 7-4. So it's been a 42-point turnaround.
Yeah, pretty ordinary stuff. I think the team's just about ready to get going for the final term. Nathan, you would have played in Sydney pre-lockout era. Best circuit in Sydney?
Outside, back in the day, the establishment was pretty good. I went there one night and had a couple of beers with Greg Matthews, and what I found strange was Greg Matthews is actually in his cricket whites and his blazer, which was really weird in the middle of footy season, but that's the way Big Gregory rolls.
Nathan, true story. I've been to the races with Mo twice, and both times he was wearing that same blazer.
What is it? What's he doing? Franklin's taking a mark.
Come on, bud. Go back and kick it.
Has to kick it for any hope for the Sydney Swans, and he nails it, bud.
All right. Now, that brings it 20 points now.
There's a pulse.
Yeah, there's a pulse, Brandon.
Touch that dial if you're a Sydney fan. Looks like that breeze has swung around. They had it there back in the first term, the Swans, and then the Bombers had it. It swung around, and I feel like it is, once again, heading to the Paddington end of the ground, which is where the Swans are going for this final term. Buddy imposing himself on the game. He turns up when it counts. If you can keep this up with a bit of support from Goodman and Wall, anything could happen.
That Sydney chant is starting to ring around the SCG.
Everybody in the crowd has jeans on, amazingly.
Look at Kale, he's flat.
One of them.
Anyway, back in the middle, 20-point margin now. What can they do, the Sydney Swans? They got the first one of the last quarter, but the Bombers shark it out of the middle and they go forward. Opportunity for Zaharakis. He was tackled. Stewart was tackled by Rampy as well. The tackle game is coming up from Sydney, and they win the footy back towards centre wing, and they mark it. Kieran Jack. He's got the jack. It's towards Hanbury. Just forward of centre. Inside forward 50 goes for Franklin again. Why not? Kale Hooker fisted away from him, though. Franklin opportunity. Dyson Heppel got it out, and the Bombers will clear.
That was their chance, the Swans. They had men everywhere inside the forward 50, just couldn't get it in there cleanly enough, and they turned it over right when they had an opportunity to get back on the board.
They've had no answer to this man, Bell Chambers, who got it out to Stringer. Stringer, poor choice to Kennedy. You'd have to think they'd have to kick a couple in a hurry here. Big Naismith.
Big kick to Goodman. Oh, right, Goodman.
Goodman, not clean enough. Not clean enough.
What happened there?
Look a lot like Westhoff from Port Adelaide.
He does.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty ordinary for me. I don't really have anything for you there. No excuses, but I need him here. To be honest with you, I need him here. So just hit me there.
Papley, been the most impressive forward for Sydney. This will be his third if he can kick this, and he's been a bit wayward. That's 2 goals 2 now to Tom Papley.
Look, pour off the boot, Brownie. I'll tell you what, they're getting the footy, they're getting it inside their forward 50, but they're just squandering shots. Ryan, this is going to be frustrating. No wonder you don't turn up to sport up in Sydney. Really, for you guys, this sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, everything's basically shut up there when you want to go and soak it all up. But performances like this certainly do not help the cause for the Swans fans. It's really starting to get away from them now. The Swans.
It's a dangerous kick from Heppel, but it came off to Darcy Parish. Another short ball, but Naismith picks it off down a half forward. Franklin the target. Why not? He can unload from here. He's tended to pass these off tonight. Not sure why, and maybe that's why. That's gone out of bounds on the full. Almost sneaks in for a behind.
Oh, just gets it behind. Now that's the second barrel we've seen him. He's really been given no support from those inside 50. Your Walls, your Goodmans included, and probably since the third quarter, he's just put the team first mentality away. And who could blame him?
Andrew McGrath kicks towards Parish, marks it. How long to go? We got a clock?
9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes. Now, Brownie, I'll tell you what. You were a forward. You played all your time up forward. You're a very good one at that. When the defenders are doing a job like this, where they're getting back into the game and they're bringing the ball forward, and then you as forwards can't convert, how pissed off do they get?
That's a bit deep, Nick, for this program, but it's hard when you can't get the footy down your end of the ground. You have to go and try and run up, go outside team rules to get a kick, and that's what me and Richo used to do, just to make sure our stats look good at the end of the day and the Supercoach points.
Now, can I just say the policing of the man on the mark in this game has been atrocious.
As it was last night. That's Big Belcho. I reckon he might have kicked the winner there. Yeah, he has been awesome, Big. He's had about 12 or 13 disposals, and now he's finished off with a goal, and that could be the nail in the Swans' coffin.
Yeah, that's game, set, match. No, you spoke about last night the fairly lax policing of the man on the mark as well. I mean, the one we were all reading about in the papers this morning was, I think it was Basher Hooley. He ran straight through the mark at one point there, and they basically let the game flow.
So back in the middle. The Bombers might have just snuffed out any opportunity the Swans have. Here goes Naismith. Papley found some space again. 2 goals, 2 so far to Tom Papley. The lead comes...
Oh, he's going to Wall. He's going to Wall.
The ball was just being sat on. Oh, that was terrible. You didn't even compete.
I was 2 metres ahead of him and he got up and went past me, man.
Franklin inside the wall. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Don't you dare pass it off.
No, and you know I can kick him from there, Nathan.
Hasn't quite got the distance.
What's he done? What's he done?
No,
he's making a mockery of this game.
That's all right. Come on. Goodman.
Good pressure. Fired up. Second effort.
Wall put his head over it.
Oh, he's kicked off again.
Deliberate. It was out towards Dylan Shield. That was Brendan Goddard, I think.
That was deliberate.
No. Throw it in.
It's a big Belcho. And Naismith. Naismith won that one clearly. Got Belcho out of the way. Wall shirked the issue again and again. Couldn't quite pick it up. Oh, good tackle by Wall.
Third efforts. Oh, that's holding the ball, surely.
Where's Goodman? Papley should be able to kick a goal, and he does.
Oh.
He's very happy with himself, Papley. That's goal number 2.
Gives one to the goal umpire on his way through there. Not sure there was any need for that. You asked
tackling pressure by Wall there.
Yeah, no answer for you, Nathan, on your earlier question there. Where's Goodman? No, not in the picture at all there. We've had about 3 angles. Haven't seen him at all. Gone missing.
So ball up, back in the middle.
Bit strange to celebrate when you're 3 goals down with a minute to go, but it's okay.
3-goal margin. You heard Wall say a minute to go. Kieran Jack down a half forward, a mark quite easily taken. He was in the press a fair bit last year, Kieran Jack. Good player.
Oh, that's in the back.
McGrath. I think McGrath's going to become the next captain of this footy club. He's a good player. Heppel. Short ball, got the run on outside. That'll be Goddard. BJ, or Pretzels as we like to call him now, to Parrish. He shinned that one. And now he's running off. Oh, that's it. That's done.
They've done it.
They won.
Chockies.
Oh, don't they look happy? They look amazingly happy.
Yeah,
they're not bad on the road historically, Essendon.
Yeah,
and
they've been okay.
There's
the small pill. There's Richo in the background. He's about to do the interview.
Yeah, there.
Not sure what's going on there. Having a dump on the
Yeah, it looks like he was just relieving himself of something.
Tell you what, I just noticed a lot of Essendon fans have made the trip up to the SCG for the game there.
Yeah.
Have a look. 8-4 to 5-4.
Look at the inside 50 count, Michael. +4 in favour of Sydney. Amazing. They just weren't able to capitalise.
Brownie, that book ended the match. First and fourth quarters is where they got them all. They had nothing in the middle part of the game. The other thing is that Essendon's conversion, their conversion there, they are 67% score conversion. And 8 out of 18, they've actually kicked goals for their inside 50s, which is amazing. Look, they've had more possession. They've had more contested possession. And, look, most importantly, they've had less players. And, look, tackling pressure was good.
If Tommy Bell Chambers isn't best on ground, I'll spew up.
No, 3 votes. T. Bell Chambers. Ryan, thoughts?
Look, disappointing performance from myself. I think I only accrued one stat after quarter time there.
It's a lively start, though.
A very lively start. I probably filled Gary Rowan's boots better than anyone. But Wall, 2 touches there, although he did look busy towards the end. He had a couple of shots. I assume they were shots. They only went about 20 metres. But he was very busy down there and a lot of tackling pressure as well, Wally. So I will say,
thank you.
You came good late. A little bit more energy, I would say, in this game.
Get him in.
Well, I don't know what's happened here.
This game's ridiculous.
All right, a couple of things. Firstly, prior to the match,
Ross Glendenning didn't like the votes and he changed them.
He did, and since when do you go 1, 2, 3? It's 3 votes, 2 votes, 1 vote. I don't know what.
It's obviously Sydney people who designed it.
We can only hope.
We
can only hope when the new game comes out in 2 weeks that they rectify a few of these.
Is there a new game coming out? Is it?
There's supposed to be. There's supposed to be one coming out in April. So.
They want to get a rush on that. Sure, it's completed. They can't still be working on picking stuff.
I think they're updating the fact there's going to be no crowding. They're just removing the crowd from all the games. So that's what the whole is.
Now, Brownie, is this what we see? Is this is the world we live in? Tipper was huge. Okay, so Essendon have won the game comfortably. They've only got basically 1 vote out of the 6 on. Tipper was their best, just scoring, pressure, everything. But you've got Kieran Jack, who I didn't see a lot of. Josh Kennedy, look, he got on the ball, but he turned over a heap. This is like the Brownlow. Good gun forward, only gets one when probably should have got two. Bell Chambers best on ground, he's a ruckman, so didn't even get a vote.
It's maybe the reason why Brody Grundy may not win a Brownlow, where he probably should have got 3 in the first round this weekend against Timmy English. And they don't tend to notice them, but Josh Kennedy certainly had a lot of the footy, so too did Kieran Jack. But I thought the man with the most influence was the big Belcher.
Well done, gentlemen. Big shifts from both of you guys today. Just a quick update on my Ukrainian table tennis tip from this morning's episode of Give Me Something. Unfortunately, Zuralov went down in a 5-set thriller against Kuznetsov. I saw he had a really strong 4th set, my man Zuralov, but Kuznetsov, I think he just showed his experience, showed his maturity, and kept his cool. He absolutely flogged him in the last set. So anyone who followed me in there, the price, $2.25. Sorry for letting you down, but he'll be back. He'll be back. I think they probably play more games tomorrow. So you got another.
Yeah, my tip at esports in the League of Champions comes up tonight, and that is JD Gaming. They're about $1.77, I think, when I picked that. So JD Gaming should be saluting tonight. And,
of course, we'll be back again tomorrow with that. Hammy, you and I think we'll be in the chair with a couple. We've got a couple of first-timers on, which will be absolutely fantastic. And then Brownie will lead a star-studded lineup on Sunday. So we're going through. If there is...
Looking forward to it.
I've actually
moved the market with my tip in the Belarusian soccer tomorrow night. Slutsk against Dynamo Brest. Brest obviously going in as favourites, but Slutsk were $7.50 yesterday. They're into $6 now after that podcast went up. So get on now while you can. That one is 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow. Not sure what time that is in Belarus, but it should.
And I believe that Richard Hummerson only figured out that Belarus was a country.
Yeah, today. Go back and listen to the podcast to hear him embarrass himself.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So we learn a lot on the podcast, as we do every day. Hammy, Brownie, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Tom Bell Chambers for us definitely got the free votes. But Brownie, we'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Is that right?
Certainly is, Mick, in between trying to get a winner at Bendigo and Rose Hill tomorrow. Really good day racing tomorrow, so I can't wait to have a crack at that. Locked away at home. The only thing to do really is punt.
There you go. And there might not be any real sport going on outside of a few of these obscure leagues, but we're going to bring you as much entertainment as we can. Thanks for joining us and have a great